Hey guys, so today I did a challenge where every room doubles in size. Honestly, the first part of the challenge is fitting all the rooms together. So that's what I'm doing first now. It was actually quite hard to fit everything together, so that it made sense, but I think it worked out in the end. Also, while editing this, I realized that I actually cheated without realizing because I drew some walls inside the sheet to make a bathroom on the top floor, because I didn't think about it. Please don't have a go at me in the comments, haha. Also ignore the tile, I forgot to get rid of it for ages, so sorry if that's distracting. Even though the roof took ages and it was really hard, it did end up looking quite nice in the end. I love the style of the house. It's not my normal style, because it was definitely a lot more modern than I usually do. But I did really like it in the end, especially the color scheme on the inside. There will be a tour at the end of the video, so don't worry if you can't keep up because of the speed. Also, this is on my gallery, but it is not base game, so unless you have the same CC as me, it won't work. Obviously, I don't have the full CC list, but I did use loads of the MCM pack by Pearson. So if you want to get a build similar to this, definitely get that pack. In fact, I'll even link it in the description for you. With houses like this, for the exterior I like to use a mix of wallpapers so that there's more interesting texture and so it's less boring. Also, it's a great way to have a few different colors on the exterior. Also, a lot of the windows are from the Clean Pack by Harry, as well as the Soho Pack by Felixander, which I will also link in the description because they are also great packs for this kind of style. Don't worry, I changed out these weird base game columns soon. One of my big complaints about the base game build mode is the columns because there were no good simple columns. They're all really weird in my opinion, and that makes them hard to use in your average build. Some of them work for certain styles, but they don't work for enough, so sometimes I find them unusable. The first thing I made was this teen room, which was quite small, but I somehow managed to make everything fit and still have a double bed. I love how it turned out in the end as well. I changed the blue color in the room at the end because I ended up using blue as the main color for the main living space, so I wanted to do something different in here. So basically imagine this, but yellow instead of blue, but you will also see it in the tour. I think the room ended up so cute and cozy, and even though it's not my personal style, I wouldn't actually mind living here. Also, I love how I used the windows and mirror to really make the room seem a lot bigger. That is actually a big tip from me for small spaces is big windows and light colored walls. As you can see right now, I have plain white walls, but I'm kind of sure I changed them at the end. I love all of the cute clutter I put in this room because I think that it's so cute and realistic, but at the same time I didn't go too overboard. Sometimes I think I put a bit too much clutter and then I feel like the room just looks too much. Like it's almost too hard to look at. Okay, so in the biggest space, I put all of the main living stuff, so kitchen, dining, and living. I'm honestly quite surprised I fit it all in, but it did end up looking really good in my opinion. It did take me a few tries to figure out the layout and color scheme, but I think it turned out amazing in the end. I ended up using this beautiful dark blue color, and this room was also when I decided that this house was going to be very mid-century modern. I think that really brought the whole house together and made it look amazing in the end. If I was going to do this again, I probably would have one extra room, so double the size of this room, because I feel like the house ended up being really small, and I think a bigger room would have been even better. It's honestly a miracle an example, I put a guitar in the teens' room, and then a keyboard in the living space. I also put some wigs in the main bedroom upstairs as if they're for shows or something that they have been in. I love doing things like that in builds, especially when I don't plan on using them or don't already have a sim for them, because it means you can still have that personal element to the house. Now you can see what I mean with the blue color. It's such a beautiful color and looks amazing in this room. I'm so glad I used it. A lot of the time I find myself using green colors, probably because it's one of my favorite colors, and also because I know that it will always look good. But it's also great to branch out and use different colors because then you end up with beautiful colors like this blue. One of the problems with the floor plan was this bathroom because I couldn't put a shower in there because I put it in the front of the house where the big window was LOL. Annoyingly, this is what led to me accidentally cheating, but there's nothing I can do now. I love all of the little details and finishing touches that I put in this room because it really brought it all together. I also love this different wallpapers I used because I think it really helped section of the room into its own little zone so that it felt less like one big room, even though it is. The little details like these shoes really make the house feel less like a house and more like a home, as if there is a little family there. So I love clutter like this. I'm like 90% sure that the shoes are from the MCM pack by Thierry Sim. That's great. Although during the tour there were a few mistakes in the build, but don't worry, I fixed them after. The mistakes were so stupid. The roof was clipping through the ceiling, which to be fair is not really my fault because you can't see it from the angle that I'm building. But also I forgot to put a door in the bathroom upstairs and I forgot to paint the little 1x1 room. I have no idea how I forgot, but don't worry, LOL. I love how I used the 1x1 room as a little closet because I think that it's such a cute use of the space. It looks so nice as well. I also debated making it into a little pantry, but I went with the closet instead. If I had the laundry day stuff packed, I would have probably put some laundry in there, but I don't, so I couldn't, LOL. Now I'm starting on the master bedroom, which isn't really a room because it's literally just the whole top floor, but whatever. I think it turned out really nice, and I even use a bit of the blue from downstairs, but a little bit more suitably. To be fair, the bathroom upstairs did turn out quite nice. By this point, I had just completely forgotten the challenge I was doing, so that's how I managed to cheat on accident. I don't know how I forgot the challenge, because I would never make a floor plan like this by choice. I also put some closets upstairs, but I imagine that the one downstairs is like raincoats and shoes, whereas this one is like normal clothes, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I also put in like a makeshift vanity because we don't have them in Bisegme, so I had to try and make one mislift, and I think it looked cute in the end. Here you can see those wigs I was talking about. I wanted to use them for the storyline, but also I wanted to try use everything from the MCM pack by Pearsystem, and these are in that pack, so I wanted to try and use them. It's just lucky that it was fitting into the storyline I had created for these sims. I love this massive mirror in the bathroom. It's just so cool. I love funky shaped Morosa because they're just so much more interesting than normal mirrors. And this one also comes in the MCM pack, so that's great. The MCM pack is probably one of my favorites because it has stuff for literally every part of the house, which is great because then everything matches. Pretty simple. I wasn't sure if I was going to include one at the start, but I decided to just for the extras cake and activities. I think it turned out nice, but it's nothing particularly special. Here is the tour.